Well, hello. Welcome to the shit show. I'm so blessedly tired. Hopefully everyone's doing well tonight. Hi. Welcome in. Yes, as promised, I am back. Okay. So make sure you have everything ready to go. Hello, Stargazer. Every time I try to say hi. Alright. For some reason, I just can't say hello. Alright. So, as promised, we're going to look at a little bit more with the graphing piecewise functions. And in addition to that, I'm going to pull in, because towards the end yesterday we were working on interval notation. So I'm going to pull in a little bit more of that. So I'm going to be looking at it graphing, and also let's do it with the notation itself. Then we'll do the intervals. So we got some stuff to do. Hopefully you are ready to go. You got either your notebook ready. I'm trying to say hi to everyone. Hi. Hopefully you guys are having a great night. I am completely exhausted, but it was a productive day. It was a good day. I'm going to see if I can kill this overhead light. So it won't be so much my weakness. Is it a good weakness or is it horrible? Oh, Soda Pop Curtis, how are you? All right, you're the best math tutor. Aw, well, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate that. So let's get started a little bit. Now, I'm going to do like a quick refresher. So we're going to move down to like number 4 before we do anything. Let me zoom in. All right, so last time, which was yesterday, I was doing something with, graphing piecewise functions. So the best thing to remember is that when you are looking at your extreme right, you read this from right to left, okay? So that is crucial to understand. So the first part that I need to look at is my inequality. What is happening with these inequalities? Everything is happening around the -2. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit more. Okay, so everything is happening around the -2. So this is what I like to do. I like to get my highlighter. I want to see when x is -2, and I'm going to draw a bound, like a boundary line. Okay. So it's saying that everything is happening right here at the -2. So sometimes I can highlight it. I'm going to put a little pen to it. So this is when x is equal to -2. All right. So now, oh, good. I love this. I can't do piecewise. Guess what? Ice, you're going to be able to do it. Trust me. Okay? We're going to take it step by step. For desperate students, just draw the function and erase where it doesn't go. Yes, you can do that. Yes, you can definitely do that. I always did that in the beginning. So that's why I always say if you're going to do it with pencil. Okay? But you avoid this for intro. Love this for limits. I know. All right. So, since we have a -2, this is something that I like to do to try to figure out where should my point be and which side should I be working on. So, since we have x is less than or equal to -2, all right, so if less than or equal to, that means I'm going to be drawing basically the left side of this boundary line. But now, since it says equal to, anytime it says equal to, that means I'm going to have a filled circle. Some people say a filled in circle. Some people say a dot. No matter what, we're going to have to fill it in. Okay? Anytime it's equal to, it's going to have to be a filled in. All right, where the other one just says greater than, so this will be an open circle. And all of this is happening on my boundary line, okay? So when we take a look, here we go, at the -2. In order for me to find out what is happening, I'm going to look at, I'm going to see if I can unzoom just a hair. I'm going to look at when h is -2. Okay, and I'm going to do this for that first expression. So I'm going to say h is h of -2. Then I have a negative, but I'm going to substitute this -2 in for the x value because my expression says a -x. Now, the -2 is just going in for the x, not for that whole entire expression. So when I have a negative times a negative, this is giving me a positive. So basically what you're looking at is an ordered pair. Your x value is -2. Your y value is +2. So this is going to be the point that's on your boundary line. Okay, so since it is a filled circle, I'm going to plot my point at -2. I feel encouraged a little bit. Might want to use the pen. So I have -2, +2. And since it is equal to with the inequality, it's going to actually be a dot. Okay, it's going to be a dot right there. Now, this is when the pencil comes back. Because I need to graph this line. And I know if I wanted to graph this, I can look at the slope. The slope is a -1. And normally I would go down 1 to the right 1, down 1 to the right 1. But this means I'm graphing the side when my x values are getting bigger, all the way to positive infinity. But this is not the inequality. The inequality is telling me something else. It's telling me that I need to graph the side when my x values are less than -2. So just by using the slope, instead of me going down 1 and to the right 1, I want to do the reverse. I want to go up 1 and to the left 1 and plot a point. Up 1 and to the left 1, plot my point. Up 1 to the left 1, up 1 to the left 1, up 1 to the left 1. Okay? I'm still given my negative slope, but I'm only graphing part of the line that contains the left side of that boundary line. Okay, so let me pause for a moment. Let me pause and see who's here. Get off my deck. I love that. Yes, okay, good. What grade should I know this by? Well, piecewise functions, there are some introductions in middle school, but mostly like Algebra 1 is when they really do piecewise function. They'll do some in calculus for limits. See, I remember. Because it does come back in calculus. But a lot of the times you'll see this in Algebra 1, some Algebra 2 teachers, or those bridge classes between Algebra 1 and Algebra 2. It's called like integrated topics or like the bridge to Algebra 2 classes. You will see those there as well. So freshmen, right? I hate to call it by like grade levels because some freshmen are doing Algebra 2. Some freshmen are doing Algebra 1. Some freshmen are doing pre-algebra. So, it's kind of, it all depends on how the flow and how your district goes. And then there are some districts that does Algebra 1 and Algebra 2 right after, and then geometry, or some will do geometry, then Algebra 1, Algebra 2. Or, like my district, we do Algebra 1, Geometry, Algebra 2. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm in college algebra, and this is currently our topic. Awesome. Great. College algebra takers, here is this, this fire. Oh, it's awesome. Thank you. Okay, so now we covered that first one. Like I said, you read it from right to left. So if we take a look, next one we have when x is greater than -2. So since it's greater than, we're going to be doing with an open circle. And our graph is going to be at 2. So now let's take a look. If I want to say the h, I think you can see it. Okay. So the h of -2. And this time we only have 2. So this is telling me at point -2, 2, I'm supposed to put an open circle there as well. Okay, so here's -2, here's 2, here's an open circle in that same spot. Okay. Now, but this time I'm not graphing the left side, because the left side, that's when my x values are getting smaller. They're going to the negative infinity. I'm talking about numbers that are from x and greater than -2. So I need to graph the right side. So it seems like no matter what the x value is, my y value is always going to be 2. So basically, I have a nice horizontal line going on here. Okay. What level of math is this? Mostly like Algebra 1, maybe a little Algebra 2. Currently having a little trouble with determining graph transformations with the function. Okay. Do we need to add the yellow line? I like to have the line as a barrier. It just kind of gives me a little reminder. It doesn't hurt at all if you do feel comfortable with the yellow line, okay? So I always like to take a look at, okay, what are my limits? Okay, it's happening at -2. So this is when x is equal to -2. Then I do the first inequality. Then I do the second. And that's what we got. All right. How are we feeling? How are we feeling? Okay, seeing some hearts. Good. Hey, Lynette. Okay, people coming in. That's awesome. Okay. Demand, what does X mean? Hey, Michael. Good to see you. It was like X is an unknown variable. Okay. It's everything. All right. Thank you. I was like, I came in too late. I'm lost. Love your videos. No problem. So here's a quick refresher. Ready? Okay. I was late to the party. Sorry, but I follow you. All right. Well, thank you. All right. So first thing, you always look at your inequalities. Take a look at from the extreme right. What is the number that's giving me that barrier? So we got a barrier at the -2. So I am drawing a vertical line right through when x is equal to -2. All right. Once I do that, I'm going to my first expression. I'm going to plug in the -2 in for x so I can figure out where should my point on that boundary line should go. So once I plug in the -2, I'm only plugging in the -2 in for the x. So it's a negative times a negative. So that gives me a +2. So the point that we are putting first was that -2, And the reason why it was a filled circle is because if I look at the inequality, it wasn't equal to. This was less than or equal to. So that's why you see like this red dot right there. Okay? After the red dot, now I need to graph. You can graph the equation of the line going through that point, and then you could erase what you only need because we're looking when x is less than or equal to -2. So we're dealing with the left side of that boundary line. Okay, so if I drew this whole entire graph, I would erase the right side because I'm looking for just a piece, hence the name piecewise function. You're not making or creating the whole entire line, just a piece of it. So you're looking for the piece from -2 all the way to -infinity. So since my slope originally is a -1, I normally would go down one and to the right one, down one to the right one, okay? Once you get your groove on and you want to draw your line, you can do that. But here's another way you can do it. You can start at your new starting point. I will go up one and to the left one. That's still a negative slope. Okay, remember when you have a negative slope, either the numerator or the denominator is negative. Okay, makes sense? Okay. So once I got my pattern, I draw my line. Then I went to the next one. So I start at -2. I plug it in, but guess what? There's no x's to plug into. My y value is just going to be 2. So no matter what I do, no matter what the x's are, my answer for the y's is going to be 2. Okay? So it just so happens that my point on that boundary line is -2, 2. And we already had something there, but I can put an open circle there. Okay, I can put an open circle, and the reason why it's open, because it is just a greater than symbol. All right, then I just go ahead and put all my 2's in for the y's. So there is my horizontal line. And then this is your graph for this piecewise function. All right. Did that help a little bit, Demand? I know, I just kind of like zipped right on through. Hey, Ann. All right. Okay, could you do an example where the graph has the lines, but we have to figure out the function number? I will see what I can do because I'm not going to stay here for 3 hours like I did yesterday. I have been tutoring since 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time this morning, like nonstop. I'm exhausted. I'm like, I'm not even going to sit here and try to lie. All right, so, all right, we could, what we could do, yes, this is the one. This is the one? All right, I'm kind of curious, like, what is the one? All right, so, do you want me to kind of leave you alone with this one? Or do you want me to kind of walk step by step? That doesn't compute. Yeah. Trust me, these kids were really testing my will of life. Step by step? No, step by step. I love it. She's like, no, step by step. Okay. When is the probability class? I'm trying to catch that mega million. Oh, yeah, I would be too, Jay. I think everybody's trying. And I was like, oh, wow, 11. Yeah, I joined and missed a lot. No problem. Okay, so, hey, Peggy. We're going to do your review as well for the, what is it? Interval notation. Okay, so going back to our inequality. Okay. Right now, my boundary line should be at -2. Okay, remember, we go all the way to the right. We go from right to left. So my boundary line should be at -2. So I will highlight it, because I think some people said they liked that yesterday. Highlight it, and I will draw my line. Okay, so the reason why I have this line is so you know that this is your boundary line. This is when x is equal to -2. Okay, this is when x is equal to -2. Yes, I'm glad you're here. So now we're going to look at that first expression. Okay, we're going to use the -2 because we want to know what point, where on that boundary line should I put my point. So if I come over, just so I can get some room, we have the f of -2, and I'm going to substitute the -2 for the x. And the reason why I'm doing this is I want to find the y value that I'm going to put, because I basically found an ordered pair that I can put on this boundary line. So what do you think is my ordered pair? So I substitute a -2 for the x. What will be my y value? Oh, perfectly imperfect. How are you? Okay, the man saying -2. This in school. It's okay. So we got -2, -4. Okay, we got 2. We got +4. We have a 0. Hello, Serious George. Oh, hello, Underground Railroad. Lovely to see your name again. Okay. Oh, nice to see you, Ashley. 0. Okay. So remember, we have a -2, -2. When the signs are basically the same. When you're minusing, it's basically the same as saying negative. All right. When the signs are the same, you're going to keep that negative and you're going to add them together. So in order for this to turn into a 0, one has to be positive and the other one has to be negative. Okay, so yes. So the ordered pair is going to be -2, because that's what we substitute for the x, and the y that we just found, which is the -4. Okay, all right. So here's my next question. Is it going to be an open or a closed or a filled in circle? Hello, Sherry. Welcome in. Okay, I got closed, I got closed, I got closed. I got closed. I got closed. Good, Ashley. Okay, less than or equal to sign. Good. All right. All right. Oh, thank you for the follow. So yes, we go back to the inequality. If there is a line underneath that inequality, that is going to be a closed circle. Okay, so I'm at -2, -4, and I'm making a dot. That's a closed fill-in circle. Now, do we want the graph on the left-hand side or on the right-hand side of the boundary line? Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Left, I have to study for my psych test too, so I'll be bouncing back. Look, Peggy, deal with the psych test. All right, deal with the psych test, because trust me, you can always get this. And I mean, most of it's being recorded, and eventually, I think mostly tomorrow morning, I'm going to try to download the recordings of this. So Get your psych test done first, and then we can deal with the math, okay? Please. Sorry, I'm like telling you what to do. Do your psych test. All right. Hey, Mr. B. All right, so yes, we're going to be looking at the left side of that boundary line because since it says x is less than or equal to -2, that means we're dealing with the stuff on the left-hand side of that boundary line. So where do I go? I go to the expression, but I don't need the y-intercept of the expression. I'm looking at the slope. So from this point, which I'm going to use my pencil, from this point, I know the slope. I'm used to going, oh, okay, from the starting point, I go up one to the right one, up one to the right one. But that's me graphing the right side of the boundary line. I need to graph the left side. So I'm going to do the reverse, okay? So since it's a positive slope, we're used to going up and over to the right. This time I'm going to go down and over to the left, okay? Because if I go down, that's negative. I go to the left, that's negative. What's a negative divided by a negative? It is a positive. So down to the left, down to the left. Now, if you feel comfortable drawing the whole entire line and then just erasing the right-hand side, do that. Okay, do you? All right, so if that's the case, then you can get that part. That's why I always say, like, when you do piecewise, you want to make sure you do it in pencil. Okay, so that's graphed. And that will be the graph of the left-hand side showing, because I know if I read it from left to right, it's increasing. So I'm still showing this, this positive slope. Okay. Now we're going to look at the next equation. So for the other equation, again, I have the f of -2. And I'm plugging it into its expression, which is a negative times a -2 minus 3. So if I plug in a -2 into this expression, what should I get out? What will be my ordered pair? I'm going to take them underground. I'm going to take them off because usually when you go live, TikTok has the recordings, and I'm going to try to put them on my YouTube channel. I'll put as soon as I get a free hand. I'm like, I think I was like under Audrey, Codner, and that's my YouTube. Sorry. That's my YouTube channel. Just go under Audrey Codner, and that'll be my YouTube channel. So I'm going to try to put that up there tomorrow. Okay. All right. So we have -1s for my y's, -1s for my y's, -2, -1s. We have a +1s. Please. So thank you. Please do. Okay. I will try, but thank you for saying please. I greatly appreciate that. I guess I'm old school like that. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Oh, hey, Tony. All right. So yes, we do have a -1. Remember, a negative times a negative gives me a positive. So this is a +2. +2 minus 3. You have $2. You want to spend $3. You are short $1. All right. So at -2, -1, are we going to draw an open or a closed dot or circle? Open or closed? Okay, Michael says open. Lisi says open. Underground open. Sherry open. What the? Open. Demand open because greater than. Good. Hey, Brooke Baddies. Who's in Math 110? Well, what's Math 110? Okay, what's Math 110? So it is going to be -2, -1, and it will be open. All right. So now, since it's greater than, that means I want to basically graph the right side. Okay, the right side of my boundary line. So I go straight to my slope, not the y-intercept. We always start at the point that we created. And it's telling me I need a negative slope. So that means I need to go down 1 to the right one. Down 1 to the right one. Down 1 to the right one. And I know you don't really need so many points, but I like to have a lot of points so I can really see my line. And for all my calculus people, you're like, is this a limit? Does the limit exist at -2? I know he's probably like, I don't know if he's still on here. He's probably like, yes, she said limit. And all people like, I was like, I don't know. I did this. Yes, you did. Okay, college algebra here. Wait, are you in college algebra? Yes. Yeah, 110. Yes. Okay, I did this. Okay. What grade level is this? All right. No. Good, Michael. So it's really like Algebra 1, a little bit of Algebra 2 in there sprinkled in. Maybe even some first semester college algebra, especially with the piecewise function. Yes. So how you can tell, here's a little thing for extra people, how you can tell something is a limit. Like this one does have a limitation because it's approaching to the same point. So there is something at x equals -2. But here, there's a gap. There's a huge gap, right? Between those 2 points. So they're not approaching to the same spot. So there is no limit there. Okay. Okay, where does the -1 come in? Confused. Okay, the -1 is your y value where we just drew this point. My x value was at -2, but the y value is the -1. It's the y on that boundary line where we can actually draw our point to. Okay. Matrices are yucky. Aw. Well, when you multiply them, yes. And then I forgot what is it. Something Jordan. Gosh, Jordan. Oof, that's so tough. My college algebra book didn't even break it down like you were teaching. Oh, thank you. Now, does that mean that this is worse or this is better? Sure, same here, but TikTok is teaching me. I know, TikTok taught me a lot of things. Taught me how to put my trash bag the right way. It taught me how to make so many different delicious meals. My goodness. Especially when they have fractions. Oh, yeah. Better. Okay, good. All right. So, before we get into another, I want to do another piece of this. I want to do a little more challenging one. If you don't mind, I would greatly appreciate if you guys can tap the screen, see if we can get up to like 2K. I would greatly appreciate that. In the midst of that, if you know anyone that can benefit from learning about piecewise function, go ahead and share it with them. Share the live with them. If they're thinking about doing the GED, if they're thinking about doing ACCUPLACER or even ASVAB, that will also be beneficial here as well. Because my whole thing is I just want to alleviate that stress called math phobia. I want to alleviate that as much as I can possible. All right. I got the 5 fingers tapping. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. So I just want to try to make math as simplistic, and I try to do things step by step. If you ever have a question, please do not hesitate to put it in the chat, because that's the only way you're going to learn it. Don't feel that, oh, I'm too stupid, I'm too this. I've already heard so many times that I will never amount to anything. And I'm a former math tutor. I used to be a professional basketball player, and I'm right now starting my own tutoring business, and I'm loving it. And anything that I can do to help people achieve their goals, I'm all about it, like every single solitary time. So even so much that I've also started some courses. I have one course that is for the ASVAB, the math, just the math section, because you sure as hell don't want me to help you with the English. You will fail. You will fail miserably. But in the blanks on the function, any chemistry? I do not do chemistry. No, not my thing. The whole balancing act and all that, nope. You will surely fail, and I don't want that to you. But if you are serious and you need someone to help you with chemistry, I do know some people. I knew some other tutors that can probably help break those things down. But I don't think they're on TikTok. But if you do need the assistance, please do not hesitate to message me, and then I will try to put you in the right direction. Okay? Yes. Okay. So Dolores, please just message me, because sometimes I'll see these and sometimes I don't, but that would be great. The problems we're having is where they give us the lines on the graph and we have to fill. Okay. All right. So let me see. Let me see if I can do a little ditty. So what I will do is, as soon as I can find it, okay. I don't want to give you something too crazy, but I do want to give you something a little bit challenging. All right, give me one moment, because I'm trying to hide answer keys and stuff. I'm doing old school copy and paste with tape. You gotta love it. All right. So you wanted it, and I'm giving it to you. All right. So we need to write the rules. And you're probably saying, whoa, this is a lot of stuff. Okay, this is advanced for me. Not a problem, Blue. I got you. Okay, I will do. Thank you. Not a problem. All right, so there seems to be a couple of things happening. There seems to be something happening here at when x is equal to -4. And seems to be something happening here when x is equal to 2. So there's things that's happening to 2. So there's things that's happening. I had different color highlighters, but there's things that's happening here and here. Okay, so there's 3 parts. So that should be telling me that there's going to be 3 different inequalities. What we've been doing for a minute, we've been working on just 2. Now we're adding a 3rd. Okay? So, okay. Are these piecewise functions? Yes, Andrew. Oh, so nice to see you. I haven't seen you for a bit. Hope everything is going well. All right. So, when we take a look, let's take it piece by piece. And I like to start from the left, work my way to the right. Okay. So I'm starting with my lowest x. So if I notice this, I'm going from, this is negative infinity for my x values. This is positive infinity for my x values. So if I notice from here, I have a horizontal line, in fact, where my y value is 2. But I have like a boundary line here at -4. So if I wanted to, I could write it like as an interval. Or I could write it as an inequality. So my thing is, since there's an open circle, that's telling me what type of inequality I'm going to have. So it's not going to be equal to. You know how we say less than or equal to or greater than or equal to? It's not going to be an equal to. But it's dealing with numbers that are lower than -4. And I'm going all the way to negative infinity. So I could say that x is going to be less than -4. Because that's what's happening to my graph. My x value is at -4. There's an open circle, and it's pointing to the left. It's pointing to the numbers that are lower. So that's why it's going to be x is less than -4. Okay, how are we feeling so far? Okay, so now, but what is my y value? I'm just going to put it right here, that my f of -4 is equal to my y value, which is 2. We're going to do something with that as we put it all together. Now, that's one inequality. Now, I'm looking at this other inequality. And it's between 2 points. It's between the boundary line of -4 and it's between the boundary line at +2. And I notice, again, there's open circles. So I don't have any equal to's. If I could write it as an inequality, I have my lowest number, which is -4. I have my x, which is going to be in the middle. And then my highest number for this yellow section, which is at +2. So I'm saying that this graph is going to be between when 2 is the highest and -4 is my lowest. So as -4 is less than x, which is my lowest, and x is less than 2, 2 is my highest. Here's the secret. Your inequalities always go in the same direction. Just a little helpful hint. Okay. But now, we got a line here. And we can find the equation of that line. Okay. First thing, anytime you're finding the equation of the line, you always start at the y-intercept. So here's my y-axis. My y-intercept is, boom, right here at -2. So if I want to write the equation of this line, I got y equals. We're going to find the slope in a second, but my y-intercept is -2. Okay. How are we doing? I see a couple hearts. How are we doing? Hey, Leanne. I got 2 Michaels coming in. Hey, how are you? All right. So if -2 is my y-intercept, how do I get from this point to this point? What do you think is my slope? Just looking at the equation of this line, what do you think is my slope? 8th or 9th? Right now, we're looking at, it's like a little bit of Algebra 2 college algebra, just a smidge. Okay. So we got -1, -1, -1. Because if I start here at -2, if I go down 1 and to the right 1, I got a point. If I go down 1 and to the right 1, I got a point. So yes, my slope is going to be -1. Okay? So I'm telling you my boundaries with the x's, and then I'm giving you what's going on with the y's. Right? Yes. College algebra. College algebra, a little bit pre-calculus. Why not? That's fine, Leanne. That's perfectly fine. Because I'm just going through it step by step. All right? And then plus, it came a little later. It's okay. Okay? It's okay. We're going to make it through. All right, so now we took care of the first part, which was this part. We just took care of the second part, which is the highlighted section. So now we're going to look at this part. So there's a boundary line at +2, and it's a line. Okay, notice right here, there's an arrowhead. So that means it's going to keep going to what? Yes, tomorrow I'll be live at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as well as 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay? Good, Diana. You're going all the way to infinity. So it's going to start at 2, but it's not going to include 2 because there's an open circle. So we're looking at when x is greater than 2. Because it's going to keep going all the way to infinity. We're only seeing a small snapshot. So since it doesn't have a solid, closed, filled-in circle here, that means it's not including 2. But it talks about 3, it talks about 4, it talks about 5, 6, all the way to infinity. Okay, so that's your x values. Now, your y values, if you notice, anytime it gives you a slanted line, my y values is actually going to come up as an equation. So, it's going to be tough for us, but we probably could figure out what is the y-intercept. Okay, I have a question. If it was a solid circle, that's a square bracket, right? Yes, Diana. Good. Okay, yes. All right, Princess Too Spicy, yes. Okay, so we're saying, oh, Astrobird is saying that the y-intercept is -6. Okay, do we agree? Do we agree? How did you figure it out? Wanted to do my fake Snow White. Yeah, you can tell I'm tired. All right. So Astrobird, how did you figure out it was -6? If there was no inequality. Okay. So if we didn't have this barrier, first we figure out our slope. If I go up 1 to the right 1, up 1 to the right 1, up 1 to the right 1. So we know my slope is a positive 1. 1 over 1, or just 1. If I wanted to get to this y-axis, I can do the reverse. I can go down 1 to the left 1, down 1 to the left 1, and guess where I land? Right here at -6. Okay, so that's another way for you to find the y-intercept. So you could do it that way, or you can use y equals mx plus b, and you can pick a point that you see. So I have this point here, which is -3. My y value was -3. My slope, I figured, was 1. My x value was 3. Let me see if I can find my b. So we have -3 is equal to 1 times 3, which gives me 3. Subtract the 3 so I can isolate my b. -3 minus 3 gives me a -6. Okay? So, like I always like to say, there's multiple ways of getting the same answer. All right. What is the phase shift? Do you know how to do trig? I do, but I'm not doing trig tonight. I really am not. How do you find m? So remember, m is your rise over run. If you want to start at this point, you can go up 1 to the right 1, up 1 to the right 1. Okay? So by you going up 1, that's your rise. Over to the right 1, that's your run. So it will be +1 over +1. And 1 divided by 1 will give you just 1. Yes, delta y over delta x. Good job. All right. Okay. So let's put all this information together and put it into a piecewise function. All right, I'm going to use the last one first because I've got room right here, so I was just going to easily slide like this. So remember, when you do your piecewise function, we start from the right to the left. So I'm going to put my inequality. My inequality is x is greater than 2. Okay? And I write the word if. And then I'm going to write not y equals, but I'm going to write my x minus 6. Okay, so this is going to be that function that we're going to use. So now, let me unshrink just a tad. Okay, a lot. Then we had the other one. We had -4 is less than x is less than 2. That's going over here. So -4 less than x less than 2. Have the word if in front. And then we write the equation, not the y equals, just the expression in front. So you got your -1x minus 2. And then lastly, we have our inequality. So the inequality was x is less than -4. Write the word if. And then rewrite, it was just one number, which was 2. And you write 2. So now we plug our little ooh, got a little crazy. We put our little bracket around it. Have your equals, and then you can name it whatever function you want to call it. I don't know, h function. So I'm saying h of x. So h of x equals this piecewise function. Okay. And then I could gently peel that off. And then you can see how we do. So this is the book's answer. And this is our answer. They used f of x, I used h of x. Come see, come ça. Okay, what's a real world example of the piecewise function? Well, have you ever gone to a parking garage? Have you ever gone anywhere that they pay a certain amount for, like, say, the first hour, and then they pay a different amount like the following couple hours? That's piecewise function. Okay, what time do you start? Today was one of those rare breed days. But normally I do Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. I just had a cancellation, but I wanted to promote a little bit more. All right. Okay. Oh, hey, KT. Follow. Thank you for the follow. All right. Hello, Tony. Say, okay. All right. How are we feeling? What topics are you going to cover tomorrow? Okay. First, at 1 o'clock, we're going to be looking at equations in line and graphing, but I'm going to be looking at more of word problems, how to break down word problems, how to set up the equations so you can get your correct slope. And then in the, what am I doing in the afternoon? That's a great question. I think I'm doing systems. No, I am not. I think I did the difference in sums of cubes. Yeah, I'm doing systems of equations tomorrow evening. System of equations, graphing, and then possibly another night doing with substitution, and then the linear combination, which is multiplying. All right. Thank you for this. Not a problem. Okay, not good at all. Oh, well, I know, Leanne. I'm sorry. But I'm ready for tomorrow. Yes, okay. Are you a teacher? I used to be a classroom teacher many, many moons ago. Well, only like 5 years ago. But now I'm an online math tutor, and I have like my own courses and my own math notebook. I didn't want to put all this into the math notebook, but I definitely have that underneath all of this stuff. This is what happens when I tutor like 3 different concepts in one day. All right. So this is my math notebook. I usually do a lot of problems on here. So as you can tell, doing some graphing, did some solving. We had some factoring of trinomials. We did a lot of that. Parallel and perpendicular lines. I have like some resources, solving multi-steps. So I created this math notebook, and this one is designed for like 7th grade up to adults, just to really get a good idea of like putting your notes together. And then on top of it, if you have any formulas they will come here. So this is great for like, you know, when you have open notes quizzes and you're like, oh, I can't remember that formula, boom, you just go straight to the formula section. And then if you have any steps, you can write down what those steps are when you're basically breaking concepts down. Like for example, graphing linear equations, we have the equations, we have definition of slope, and then I have my steps here of how to graph it. Because we all know that once you get home, it's almost like, what did my teacher say? How did they say that? And then you just can't remember. And I know a lot of your teachers give you guys packets, and this is when it gets crazy. Like you can take bits and pieces of your packets, tape it into your math notebook, and then on the other side, summarize what's on that paper. So really like giving yourself a lot of practice on how to do things. Okay? All right. Okay. Ooh, I'm late. Oh, hi, Gina. Can you do a math question, please? I don't even know what a TSI question is. Is that the book to get for GED? Want to get it for someone? You can. It's just basically a notebook. So like if they're taking down notes and they really want to understand certain concepts and really organize their thoughts, this is a great book for them. And then on top of it, if they're not strong with their multiplication facts, I have what's called factor sheets. So if you ever take a look at, let's say 60. So if you're looking at 60, you see 1 and 60, 2 and 30, 3 and 20, 4 and 15, 5 and 12, and 6 and 10. So if you want to know what factors multiplied together will give you 60 and add together to give you 32, this would be a great resource for you. So I have that in addition to, you know, reference pages for adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, equals, and inequalities. Like what are those most popular words? And we're going to be working on this tomorrow at 1 o'clock. We're going to be using this quite a bit. And then the rules of integers, adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, order of operations, laws of exponents. Hey, and this looks familiar. Okay, we have slope, equation, line, and standard form, slope-intercept form, point-slope form, also some quadratics. So it's a lot of stuff just to remind you, even of volume and surface area. Okay, a little bit of trig, you know, with some of the identities. And for the famous unit circle, especially when you get into advanced math. All right. And then I'll also give a section just as a brain break. You know, we all need a mindless brain break once in a while. And sometimes the phone is just a little too much. So why not draw if you're very artistic? All right. So that is my math notebook. I do have it on sale on Amazon. If you want to, you can go to the links in my bio and go to my website. And from there, you can find a link for the notebooks. Okay. Let's see. Do you use matrices to solve systems? Sometimes I do, Michael. Sometimes I do. Good night. All right, Lisa. Good night. What did I stumble upon? You stumbled upon some great maths people. You stumbled upon some crazy fun stuff. What is the graphs that has the open circle and the closed circle? There you can graph like linear inequalities, and that's another thing that we are going to be addressing this week on the number line. And then we're actually going to see like a systems of inequalities as well. Okay. It's a love-hate relationship. Yeah, you got that right, Candy. It's like, trust me, a lot of people are like, I either love it or I hate it. All right, so piecewise we actually saw as a graph, okay? Now we can actually evaluate our piecewise. So this is the one thing that I like to use, which is called the keys to the doors. Okay? These are my keys. These are my doors. So we need to find the right key to open the right door. So let me zoom in and tell you what am I talking about. So if you're given a function, let's say the function of 3, the f of 3, you're going to go to your extreme right and you want to see which one is going to give you a true statement. So is 3 less than -2 or is 3 greater than or equal to -2? Put it in the chat. Plus it'll give me a little time to drink some water. Oops. Let me go like this so I'm not straining myself. So is it less than -2 or greater than or equal to -2? Love refreshers. Good. Okay, awesome. I see that on the perp test. Yes. I don't know if I got it right. Okay. Okay. Greater than, or equal to. Okay. Hello, user. Yes. So many numbers. Okay, perfectly me. Yes. Greater than or equal to. Tony, good. Greater than. All right. Any more? Maybe one more? I mean, we all know what the answer is. Yes, but I would love for you to participate. And even if you don't know, question marks are welcomed, okay? So 3 is bigger and greater than -2. Having $3 is better than owing somebody $2, okay? So this is the key that I'm going to use to open this door. So that means my y value when my x is 3 is going to be -4. Okay, so I just found an order pair, which is 3, comma, -4. Okay. Can we do piecewise graphs later? I actually did. You missed it. All right. So the f of -4. So -4. Is it less than -2 or is it greater than or equal to -2? Which is it? Hey, Mohammed. How are you? Okay, Tony says less than. Leanne says less than. Perfectly Me says less than. Get rid of the question mark at the end. You got it. Okay. Paging. So -4, owing $4 compared to owing $2. Owing $4, that is way too much in debt. Okay. So -4 is less than. So this is the key. And I'm going to open this door. So that means where there is an x, I got an expression this time. So I'm going to do what we did earlier. Where there was an x, I'm going to put a -4 plus 5 because I need to find my y value. Let me slide it over so you can see. Okay, so I need to find my y value. So I plugged the -4 into this expression for x. And now my answer is going to be, is it a +1 or, okay, there we go. Can you zoom out? Yeah, thank you. Not a problem. I know I didn't realize that was all, basically you could see like the freckle. So I'm seeing some ones, I'm seeing ones. I see a -4 1 from Tony. Okay. Okay, we got it. Awesome. Hello, Sally. All right. All right. So -4 plus 5 gives me 1. So what you just found is the order pair. When x is -4, your y is 1. Okay, makes sense? Okay, does this make sense? You can do a thumbs up. You can do a celebratory, cheer yourself on. I mean, heck, guys, it's a Sunday night and you guys are still here with me learning math. I love it. Got it. Awesome. Yes. Oh my God, I think I understand that. Yes, you did. I was late. Oh, it's all right. You're here. I appreciate you being here. Okay. Oh, Raccoon Holler. Cute. Love name. All right. So now they always do this. F of -2. Okay. Let's see if I can unzoom just a little bit more. So F of -2. I have these keys. Which key is going to open which door? Okay, it's -2. Which key is going to open which door? Okay, so which of these inequalities is going to give me a true statement if I plugged in the -2? So that's what I'm talking about, Lisa. Okay, so which one of these is going to give me a true statement if I plug in a -2 for the x? Okay, Candy, thank you so much for coming. If you're still here, appreciate you. Greater than or equal to. Yes. Okay, the top one. Okay, greater than or equal to. Okay, greater than equal to. I know it's so hard to put math symbols in a TikTok. I totally get it, but I appreciate that. The equal to, yes. Okay, so it is going to be this bottom one. The reason why this has the equal to. This one is saying that -2, it would be saying that -2 is less than -2. No, it can't be less than. It's exactly the same thing. But if you have -2 is greater than or equal to, that means it's going to satisfy this section, this inequality. So this is the key to open this door. So that means my y value for f of -2 is just going to be -4. So the order pair that we have is -2, -4. Okay, how are we feeling? Thank you so much for the likes. I appreciate it. I was just hoping for like 5K, and we're almost there. That's cool. Okay, I feel good. Yay! Woo! Love that. Like seeing the replay in my hand. It's like, I can't believe I'm understanding this a little. Hey, that's fine. That's exciting. Good. See, I think it's just taking it step by step. All right? Just taking it step by step. You don't have too many distractions, hopefully, not too many distractions around you. It's something that you want to do. You don't feel forced to do it because like when you go to class, like you have to learn this. You have to pass the test. You have to do all this. And we're taking that away. And when we take that away, now you can have some time to want to learn and want to grow and want to apply. So that's what I'm trying to do. And I'm just really happy that I'm helping. I can be helpful. Good. All right. Okay. So let me do number 4. Okay. It's a little intense. It's all right, but we're going to get it through. You're probably like, what? Nope. No freaking out. Nope. No freaking out. Let's see if we can do 1, maybe 2 of these. Okay, I believe in us. Okay, I truly believe in us. Is this college math? Yes. Okay, yes it is. All right, so doesn't that feel good that you're doing college math? It's like I'm taking college algebra. I need someone to break it down Barney style. Yeah, I'm not doing I love you, and I'm not being purple. Like, I'm sorry. I got limitations. All right. So we have x minus 1 if x is less than or equal to negative 2. We have 2x minus 1 if negative 2 is less than x and is less than or equal to 4. We have negative 3x plus 8 if x is greater than 4. All right, so we're looking at our x value. Remember, it's always going to be f of x. The x value is always inside the parenthesis. So now let me ask you, which keys is going to open which door? And I'll do it like this. Is it number 1, number 2, number 3? Okay, we're looking at negative 1. Which one is going to be the key that we're going to use? Ooh, Leanne, you just went real quick. Look at you. She's like, I ain't holding nothing back. I'm going back to school, taking summer semester. Oh, okay. Let me know. Let me know if you need assistance. I'm a pretty decent math tutor. Especially like for the algebra and algebra 2. I love doing algebra 2. Okay. So think of the number line. Actually, let me draw a number line up here. So let's think of the number line. We got a 0, got positive 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we have negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. Okay, so negative 1 is bigger than negative 2. So it can't be number 1. There's the same between negative 2 and positive 4. Guess what? Negative 1 is in between negative 2 and positive 4. So that can work. And this one is saying x is greater than 4. Well, negative 1 is definitely less than 4. So we are looking at number 2. Okay, so negative 1 satisfies this criteria. So that means this is my key, and I need to open this door. So the way that I open that door is I'm going to take this negative 1 and I'm going to plug it in for the x. So that means I have 2 times negative 1 minus 1. I want to find my y value. Okay, when I use my x value, I want to find my y value. So 2 times negative 1 gives me negative 2 minus 1. And that means the f of negative 1 is going to be negative 3. So the ordered pair that we're looking at is negative 1, negative 3. Okay. I'm thinking one. Okay, beware. The homework on Alex is kind of hard, at least for me. Oh, I hate Alex. Hate it. Hate Alex. Terrible. It's awful. Needs to be burnt. Like everything we talk in the class, out the window. Yeah, completely out the window. It's never going to be... They do a lot of thinking outside the box, and then plus you have all these projects and all. Ugh. Hate Alex. Hate it. Okay, I do not and never understood math at all. Oh, well, hopefully you'll keep coming and you'll understand. This is the stuff I'm lost with too. Okay, it seems so difficult, but it's really not. Right. It's all about knowing the number line. Okay. Where is this number that's inside of the parenthesis? where is this number going to lie based off of this criteria? So like if I go for the next one, f of -4, okay? Where would -4 lie? So you're only looking on the left-hand side, the extreme left, the inequalities. So -4, which one will satisfy and give me a true statement where -4 is going to lie? Is it in the first inequality, the second inequality, or the third? Okay, so it's a -4. Okay, so if I plug a -4 for x, is -4 greater than 4? If I plug the -4 for x, is -2, less than -4 and 4? Is -4 in between -2 and 4? Or is -4 less than or equal to -2? Okay, so I'm seeing 1s, I'm seeing 3s, I'm seeing 2s. I used to get D's and F's and since I could remember all the way back to elementary school. Oh, see, here's my thing. You probably just needed some resources. User 655, yeah, all that. Okay. Okay. So you probably just needed some resources. Like you probably needed like a reminder sheet. Some people used to call it back in the States like cheat sheets. You might have just needed something like that to help you remember some things. Maybe it was the way that you wrote your notes down. Okay, you just needed some support. Okay, trust me, you're not dumb. Hey, I was the same blessed way. All right, so definitely 1. So -4 is less than or equal to -2. Yes, Mar. Mar, where have you been? Hello. Okay, hello, Abigail. I haven't used this in 30 years. Need a refresher. Not a problem. Okay, so -4. Just like Mar said, -4 is down here. If I use this number line, if I wanted to extend it out, okay, -4 is right here. -2 is here. So -4 is less than -2. -4 is not in between -2 and 4. -4 is not bigger than 4. Okay, so that first inequality is going to work. So what I need to do is I need to plug this -4 into this expression so I can find my y value so I can plot my point. So -4 minus 1 gives me a -5. So the ordered pair that we found is -4, -5. Okay. Oh, look at this. Great minds think alike. I was like, I'm getting it. Good. Good. I'm so glad. Moonlight at night. Oh, I love that. It's so romantic. All right. Thank you for the follow. All right. Okay. The last one for this one, because I am really starting to wind down. So we have f of 5. Okay, so now we're looking at 5. So we're looking at our choices here. Where would 5 be a good fit? The first, the second, or the third? Look at Leanne just like, bam! She ain't wasting no time. I love it. Okay. Yes, Lisa. There we go. There we go, everyone. Wait. Ms. Page. Okay, take a look. It's a positive 5. So positive 5, if I were to do a number line, it's going to be out here. Okay. I'm understanding. Good. That's okay. I don't do all that other math. Okay. All right, good. All right, I love the excitements. So the 5 is going for the last one because 5 is definitely greater than 4. So then I'm looking at the expression. So I'm coming over here. So I have -3 times 5 plus 8. Okay. So I am trying, let me slide that over. So I substitute the 5 for the x. So -3 times 5, that gives me -15. Okay. And then -15 plus 8 gives me a -7. Good, Leanne. Get rid of that question mark. Yes. So that means the order pair will be 5, -7. Okay. Hello, Pamela. Thought it was -5. Yeah, I thought it was -5. Good. What? -5. Oh, you thought you were substituting a -5. Okay. Yeah, because since it's going to the last function, it will be -3 times 5, which gives me -15, plus 8 will give me a -7. What's order pairs? Well, order pairs are coordinates that you put on a coordinate grid. Now, coordinate grid is just basically 2 number lines that intersects at the common point called the origin. All right. And your left to right, that's your x-axis. Your up and down, that's your y-axis. And your order pairs always goes like this. Your x, then your y. Always think about the letters of the alphabet. Thank you so much. Now I can finish my algebra homework. No more shaking in my boots. Yes, good. Good. Take your time. Definitely get it done and turn it in on time. You're welcome. All right. All right. Okay. How are we feeling? Okay, see a couple hearts popping up here and there. It's like we're still alive. All right, yes, thank you. Good. All right. All right, as promised, got one more thing besides my little spiel. Now, yesterday, we kind of worked a little bit on interval notation. It's just like another short way of organizing what's called your domain. Okay, remember, your domain is the list of your x's. Your range is the list of your y's. Okay? So, if I want to put this in interval notation, so let me zoom in. So it's kind of similar to what we were doing earlier. If it is less than, okay, we can see this. If it's less than or greater than, it's going to be parentheses. If it's less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to, we will have brackets. Okay. Key thing, any infinite can never have a bound. There's no bound with infinite. Infinity goes on and on and on. So there's no boundary. When you don't have a boundary, you're using parentheses. But if it includes it, okay, so like greater than or or equal to, less than or equal to. That means you are enclosing it. It's almost like a cage. All right. 1 second. I need my charger. Okay. All right. Okay, so I'm going to just do these odds, and then we're done. Then I'm done. And it's after 10. It's just like, time just flies when I'm working with you guys. My goodness. All right. Got it. Okay. Did hear a thing you said. I'm sorry. Not a problem. I just said I'm just going to do these 5, and then I'm done. Because, yeah. Or just like burnt. Okay. So, x is less than or equal to 3. So if you think of a number line, sometimes this helps a little bit. Say here's 3. And it's saying less than or equal to. So that means I'm shading this side. And since it has the equal to, it's including this point. Okay, makes sense so far? Okay. So now, with this information, I know that this graph is going on and on and on all the way to negative infinity. So I'm going to write my lowest number is negative infinity. The lowest number always comes first. And the highest number in this case is 3. And since it's a closed, because it was equal to, we put a bracket around the 3 and then a parenthesis around infinity. Because it's going to stop and include 3. That's why we got the bracket. Infinity knows no bounds, so that's why it has the parenthesis. Okay. Now, people like to get confused with the next one. You see 3 things, you're like ready to freak out. No. Think of the end numbers as bookends. You'll have -9 and you have 0. Okay. So with the -9, I'm looking at the inequality sign before the -9, which is an x. So, or it's less than or equal to. Since it's equal to, we have a bracket. Okay? Anytime you have that line underneath, it goes towards the front number. So now here we got less than or equal to 0. So that means since it's equal to, we put a bracket. Okay. Hey, Precious. Hey, Raven. Okay, you guys all right? Am I shocking you? Am I like, oh my gosh, this is the worst thing ever? What are you talking about? Or, oh my gosh, Audrey, I'm totally getting this, and I'm just like screaming inside of joy. Got it. Awesome. Oh, thank you, Melissa. I appreciate that. Okay. Hi. Just here because I enjoy math. Not a problem. You're more than welcome. More than welcome. I just like to take my time to break concepts down. So I tried to make it into as less stressful as possible. If I may be selfish, I really want, I would love for parents to learn how to do the math. So then when their kids come and ask them questions, they don't feel intimidated anymore. And then plus they don't kind of pour their math anxieties on their kids. Because we do. We do. We do. All right. And you know, you're like, oh, I was never good at math. You're not going to be good at math. It's genetic. No, it's not genetic. Okay. But that's what I really want. I want people to feel confident and say, look, I can go up to a point, and then that's what I'm doing. That's why I'm here. Yes, there we go. All right. Thank you for confirming that. Okay, so the X in the middle, but it doesn't need to be in the notation. No, it doesn't. No, it does not. Okay. All right, so negative infinity, -3. Okay, so we don't have to use the X. Okay. So not the X, but where is it going all the way to, Leanne? Okay. Where's it going all the way to? So like it's starting at the -3, but since it's less than, it's going all the way to -infinity. Yes, yes. And since we're going and since we're going to the left, it's going to be -infinity. Okay? So that's going to be our lowest number, which is -infinity. Now, -infinity, positive infinity, doesn't matter. They both get parentheses. Now, around the -3, is it a parenthesis or a bracket? I think some of you guys put it down already. Is it a parenthesis or a bracket? Good, Leanne. Look at you. So proud. Yes. So, Elisa, is it including it? Does it have a line underneath? If it doesn't have a line underneath, it's going to be a parenthesis. Okay? So when there's a line underneath, brackets. No line underneath, parenthesis. Inequalities, no matter what, it's always going to be parentheses. Okay. All right. So now, anytime they give you two numbers, think about what we did with number 3. Okay, so they give us the 2 and the 8. So it's like bookends. 2's going to be on one side, 8's going to be on the other side, and X will always be in the middle because we're doing this for the domains. Okay, we're doing this for the domains. We're doing this for the list of the X's. Okay. Since both ends are parentheses, and my inequalities are always going to go to the left, can't even speak, less than, we're not putting lines underneath them because they're parentheses, not brackets. This is your answer. Okay, my lowest number is 2, my highest number is 8. It always goes lowest number, then highest number. Okay, 2 less than X less than 8. Yes, Melissa. Okay. Yosef, how are you? Or Yusef, I should pronounce it properly. Excuse me. All right. Last one. Good. So, 3 positive infinity. What do you think? What would you think? 3, but it's going to positive infinity. Okay, Lisa's like 3 greater than infinity. Close, very close. Okay, we can say 3 is less than X. Okay, we can say that. Because it could be the other way. Misbehaving. Okay. X is, no, it's, nope, Leanne, what'd you do? Change it back, Leanne. Change it back. So 3 greater than x greater than infinity. Don't know you were on. Yeah, I just popped on. I'm addicting. I was wanting to do it just for a short time, but here we are, 10 o'clock. Hey, why not? I got confused. Yep, you were right the first time. You were right the first time. Okay. Oh, thank you. All right. So, we're talking about 3. It's going to be to greater than. So it's going into the positive direction. So that means my x value is going to be greater than 3. Is it going to include the 3? Does it include the 3? Oh, yes. Okay. So that greater than symbol is going to take care, right? So it's not including the 3 because we have parentheses. Infinity is always going to have a parenthesis, but the 3 has a parenthesis. So it's not going to be greater than or equal to, it's just going to be greater than, okay? By you saying greater than, that means, if I may, so say that this is 3, we got 4, 5, 6, 7, okay, all this. I'm taking care of 3, and I'm going all the way to positive infinity. So the greater than symbol will take care of that positive infinity. Okay, how do you feel? Okay, could you write it like 3? Yes, you can. 3 is less than x. Yes, you can. That's still correct. Because if I write it as 3 is less than x, if I reverse this, I got my x, the sign changes, and I got my 3. Okay, so yes, that is still correct. Mm-hmm. Good. So I had 3 out of 4 right. Yes, you did, Lisa. Lisa, you're getting better. Like, you're getting better, and I'm really proud. I'm proud of all of you. You know, I really am. Like, Leanne is, like, throwing her answers out before everyone else is. It's like... It's almost like a bride about to throw her bouquet, and everybody was, like, wrestling to the ground for the bouquet. Free bouquet! Stampede! You're so welcome. So this is it. I have to stop. My brain is just like, and you're going to pass out, chicklet. But this is basically the other math you've been doing. I can concept. Oh, yeah. Yes. Can you teach me? I would love to. I would. I mean, I really love just breaking down concepts, and it seems like a lot of my students generally catch on rather quickly. But here's the thing, like, you can have me as access. I am starting a monthly membership for my ASVAB, ACCUPLACER, GED. So I'm doing it right now until March the 1st. Okay, this is my thing. And I know I'm putting pressure on people, but I feel like I have to do that because some people, especially as us as seasoned adults, we just like to take our time with things, especially for decisions. But if you know somebody that's thinking about doing the GED or thinking about going back to school and they just haven't gone to school in a long time, and as well, they just need support, because when you go to a college class, I'm not going to lie to you, the pace is ridiculous, you know? So I mean, you're learning 2, sometimes 3 different concepts in one night. And you're like, dude, I haven't done this since I was a fetus. Like, why all of a sudden you're like throwing all this stuff at me and you're like, well, you need to know this. And hopefully you have a nicer teacher than that. But I've actually had a teacher that said to my face, well, you need to know this. Well, guess what? I had to step up my game. So that's what I did. But if you need something that is a little bit slower pace, you got science only. Okay, go ahead. I'm doing GED. Yes. Can we learn more about roster form next? I'll see what I can do. Do you teach Mac? No, I don't even know what that is. I'm sorry. I'm like right away saying no. I don't even know what it is. Okay, my dear, good night. Yes, go to bed now. Yes, I'm so tired. I feel you. I'm doing the PERT. Yes, I've heard of the PERT. But here's my thing. If you do and you really want to get a course that's going to help guide you a little bit more, and this is the one thing, I just asked for 3 months commitment. It is $57 for the course. It's 107 courses. But here's the thing. If you take it, like say you did it for 1 month and then you took your GED and you passed it, guess what? I'm not going to charge you for the next 2 months. That's stupid. Like, no, so if you pass your test early and it's just been that cutoff, all right, not a problem. At least it was something that was helpful. And at the same time, possibly can help people just achieve their greatness. That's what I want. Okay, I'll join late tonight. Okay, I'm doing okay, what would I look for online to practice? For the PERT, I mean, see if there are any, which there should be, like some released questions. So it kind of give you an idea of like how intense it is. You can actually, yeah, if anything, type in the search engine like PERT practice problems. Okay, so PERT practice problems, you might be able to put that in there. What I look for online to practice? Okay, this math. Oh, for this math, this is called that's an R, believe it or not. Interval notation. So interval notation. Okay, so we have interval notation, and the stuff that I was working on earlier is piecewise function. Okay, so we just finished up with interval notation, but what I was working on earlier was also piecewise function. Okay, you're so welcome. All right, per practice for GED. Yes. Yep. So we're gonna get everything together. We are gonna get everything together. So oh my goodness, over 6,000 likes. People, you are too good to me. Way too good to me. So I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm going to straighten up my desk. My cat is looking at me crazy. It's probably because she was like, are you gonna feed me or what? I know it's late, but seriously, what's up? But I will be here available at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we are going to be doing a little bit of working some more with word problems. So if you are not very good with word problems, make sure you come and see me tomorrow, 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And we're actually going to be working on some word problems to break some of these things down. And I think once we get into a rhythm, you're going to be fine with the word problems. And as well, if you can't come at 1, I'm also going to be on at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. 8:30 p.m., not a.m. You'll be by yourself. Oh, that would be so nice. Thank you. I would like to give her 10,000 likes before she goes. Oh, that would be sweet. Um, so Melissa, thank you. Not a problem. Um, if anything, for the PM, we're going to be working on, I think I said system of equations. So really going through it step by step, graphing, possibly graphing and substitution. We'll do that part, so we can get all that situated. But I think everyone is almost gone. But thank you so much, Lisa. That is fine. I'm perfectly fine. But if anything, I will see you guys tomorrow. Okay? Almost 12-hour live. Oh my, I know, right? I know. Oh, but this is what I do. This is what I do. As long as you guys are getting benefits from it, I'm happy. I'm really happy. And it's kind of hard to be happy nowadays. It's too much craziness going on. All right, so this will be fine. Lisa, I appreciate it. Come guys, we are at 7.5. You want me to just kind of hang here until we can get to 10K? Help Lisa do a little bit of tapping. That'd be so funny. I think I can actually tap myself too, because I signed on as me. Oh, wait, something's up. Okay. That sounds so, it's like I'm cheating. It's hilarious. Okay. Well, no problem, Michael. I appreciate it. I appreciate you being here. Yes, Leanne, I'll see you tomorrow. All right. Have the nice, calm, soothing sounds. Hey, Tiffany. Oops. And I should be getting my new book soon, so I'll be so happy. Oh, thank you, guys. So we're just trying to get to 10K so we all can go to bed. Separate beds, but we all can just go to bed. All right, only need 1,000 more. We definitely can do this before we all pass out. Right? Tap to sleep. Tap to sleep. Oh my goodness. I know, I love when I tap and I accidentally kick myself off. So many times I've done that. Almost there, almost there. We can hear the bed calling us. Yay! There we go. All right. All right. I think I'm good. Okay, Kelly's not having it. That's so funny. I love that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is good enough for me. I would greatly appreciate that. So I will see you guys tomorrow afternoon and also tomorrow evening. So have a lovely night. Pleasant dreams. Awesome work. You guys are amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, good night, everyone, and take care of yourselves, okay? Talk to you soon.